Welcome back. You're listening to Become a Bat, Canada's ranked number 230th podcast in science fiction, according to Apple Podcasts.
So random.
So random. Yes, we are really going places.
We're big in Canada. Number
Yes.
236.
I'm your host Tom,
And I'm Mike.
and today we're going to be talking about Batman number 11. The first two stories we want to, as we discussed last week, right before I ended the show, we're going to try to sync this up back to 1943. So right now we're in 1942, pretty much the tail end though, with Batman number 11.
For a second, I thought you were about to say, we're here to talk about Batman. And I was going to be like, no duh.
As every week we talk about Batman.
Yeah.
Before we get into the story, just give us a like. Maybe we can be higher in Canada. We're based in the U.S., so maybe even be higher in the U.S. Give us a like, a review, anything. Drive up our metrics. Why not?
Please.
Yeah. So let's just get into this. You want to read the synopsis for Batman number 11?
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right.
What about this cover, though?
Oh yeah. Hold on. We always feel rusty. No, I'm really rusty.
All right. This is Batman number 11, story number 1, The Joker's Advertising Campaign. Art by Bob Kane, Jerry Robinson, and George Russos. Story by Bill Finger. The cover on this one is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I love it so much. It's a whole bunch of playing cards like strewn across the floor. It kind of looks like that. Like it's just a bunch of playing cards all over the place.
Yeah.
And then in the middle, you have a king playing card, a jack playing card, and a joker playing card. Obviously, the joker playing card has the Joker on it. The king card has Batman on it. And the jack card has Robin on it. And Batman's like leaping off his card and decking the Joker in the face. And Robin's just kind of like, yeah, come on. It's really exciting. And it's like a cool kind of Joker-y cover.
Yeah. Yeah. I right before we started recording, I handed over the last few issues of Mark Waid and Dan Mora's excellent run on World's Finest, and as of this recording, the newest cover on, I think it was like actually, hold on, pull it out real quick. I want to see what issue it is. If it's the 11th issue, I'll shit.
That would be really funny. It's 10. It's 10.
It's so close. Okay, they should have
Yeah.
waited, but didn't sync up that way. But yeah, issue number 10 has got a very similar cover with like the cards and Joker and Batman and Superman and the new character Boy Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
I think Robin is missing on it, oddly enough, but
But if he is, I mean, the Boy Thunder is probably on Jay, just like Robin would be.
probably, yeah. And then we also got the neat splash page.
It's a great splash page, but I'm a little disappointed because it doesn't have like a 3-paragraph rant like usual.
Yeah, it's a very quick one.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's probably that way because Joker was paying by the word.
Probably. Yeah, it's a great splash page. It's like an orangish background or like a coral color.
Mhm.
And in the corner, like the Joker is standing there reading the newspaper and he's got it thrown open. And there's an image in the middle of the newspaper of Batman and Robin beating up some thugs. And then the Batman and the Robin are jumping right out of the image, leaving behind like these little like shadow figures and jumping right at the giant Joker who's reading the paper.
Yeah.
It kind of calls back to the cover a little bit.
You want me to read this one?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. It's a short one, so. Help wanted men. 2 crime fighters, clever and courageous, to battle the Joker, alias the Harlequin of Hate, the Crime Prince Clown, etc. Experience necessary. Positions filled by Batman and Robin.
Ha ha ha.
This little like sticky note. It's not a sticky note. This probably predates sticky notes.
Yeah, it's like a sticky note minus a sticky, and it's stuck
Yeah.
on there with a paper clip,
Yep.
a clippy note. All right, here we go. A local movie theater is hosting a talent contest. One of the contestants makes a splash with his fantastic Joker impression. When he's asked to take off his makeup, he reveals that he can't, because he's in fact the Joker himself. I like that. It's
Mhm.
like, the previous stuff was my makeup. This is my actual face. Meanwhile, Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson are training their boxing skills when they overhear on the radio that the Joker has escaped from jail. Joker even goes out of his way to put an ad in the newspaper for Batman, telling him that he's going to put want ads in the paper to help him commit crimes. Bruce reads the newspaper and decides that it's time to suit up. After running around on some rooftops, they spot below a bunch of vintage cars and a horse-drawn carriage driving down the street. And then suddenly, Joker is spotted shooting an officer and escaping on a motorcycle. Another cop manages to shoot out a tire, and then he gets onto the carriage, and Batman and Robin make chase on a tandem bike. Batman jumps onto the carriage and gets at the Joker. After a short fight, Joker eventually makes his escape via a subway car. There's a lot going on in those couple panels.
There is, yeah. And it's also just kind of like when you're reading into, you're like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
It explains it as we will see.
Okay. Later on, Batman finds Joker's ad in the paper. The ad asked to purchase vintage vehicles for an upcoming movie. The next day, they look through the newspaper's want ads, and they find that they must have come from the Joker. An ad asking for police to keep away crowds that'll be mobbing the premiere of a magician's performance. And it just so happens that Bruce was going to that show. Bruce asks Dick to relay a message to Linda to meet him there later. However, Joker reveals that his ad is actually a red herring, and it's a way to advertise for a different crime. So at the premiere for the show, the magician asks for 3 ladies from the audience to assist him. Dick is walking past the theater and overhears the magician's publicity agent.
Sorry, it's a little confusing, but basically Dick walks by the theater.
Oh, I see where this is going.
He overhears the publicity agent like talking to someone, and the agent's like, "This is weird. I didn't place this ad.
I didn't put this ad in the paper, but there's an ad in the paper for the show." Yeah. The magician gets 3 old ladies and has them walk into a box, and they disappear. The magician is about to make himself disappear when Batman jumps down from the balcony. He lifts the box to reveal a trap door underneath, and before he can do anything about it, a sandbag drops down from above and knocks Batman out. Joker robs the old ladies and their jewelry and gets away. Robin follows Joker down into the sewers. Joker gets onto a rowboat. Robin swims underneath and then flips out of the boat. Joker and his goons grab Robin and put him underwater until he passes out. Then they tie him to some pipe, and Joker comes up with the weird scheme to suffocate him with sulfur fumes. Right, why didn't he just drown him?
Yeah, he had him right then and there.
Robin manages to get a hold of a nearby telephone wire, rips it out, and uses it to signal SOS. The phone operators get the message out to the police. Batman and the police arrive, and it appears to be too late. Robin has stopped breathing. Batman asks for a pulmonator. What did you write here? Google doesn't recognize this word.
Yeah, I'm thinking
it's a defibrillator, but
it might predate actual like defibrillators because it looked weird.
Yeah, what it really seemed like is it's like one of those little masks you put on that you squeeze to force someone's lungs to pump air back into their body.
Yeah, it probably was that.
Yeah. Anyways, they're able to revive Robin. When Dick wakes up the next morning, he lets Bruce know that he heard Joker was going to paint kitty candy. There's air quotes around that for those of you that can't see my hand. He confirms that this is the next print ad. He wants 2 painters to paint up a sign. So that day, Joker is painting up a billboard advertising candy when he leaves to rob the jewelry shop located there. The police make chase only to find some guys painting the sign. Dude, my stomach is going crazy right now.
Yeah, I can hear it.
I'm sure everyone else can too. Batman is driving when he hears the call. He gets to the sign and calls out Joker. He makes a run for it. Batman swoops in and knocks him down after a bout. Joker falls down a few stories, caught by the awnings below, and is knocked into a window and sent to jail. I can't talk. I'll like lose my voice too. The end. Man, that last part's confusing.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking though, right? Right, just as we started recording, because I was remembering the want ad.
What?
It'd be a perfect like way that we should take that panel and then make it advertise. Like Joker's painting become a bat.
Yeah.
Get that? Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Definitely get that photoshopped.
There's a lot going on in this issue.
Mm-hmm.
But like you could really kind of like pare it down to just being like Joker's putting want ads in the newspaper and Batman's trying to figure out which ones are the Jokers and then showing up to stop the crime.
Yeah.
It's really simple, but like they go out of their way to make it slightly convoluted.
Mm-hmm. One thing I was like kind of realizing, just with the Bill Finger's like storytelling, he really likes threes.
Yeah,
like they all have like a 3-act structure. Whenever Joker has like a scheme, it's always like Joker has a scheme. We see the first scheme, Batman follows. They're kind of confused.
Yeah,
and then he does the second part of the scheme. They lose, but Batman figures it out.
Right, and then the third part, they finally confront him, and
they usually confront him, or they turn the scheme against him, something like that. And this is just like a classic part, like the Joker formula right now.
I think Bill Finger probably is like a classically trained writer too. So like he knows that you're supposed to write it like that, like
Hmm.
beginning, middle, end, like you're supposed to like create that story arc. So
Yeah.
like, oh no, here's the problem. The villain's winning and the bad guy's gonna lose. Oh no, they're gonna win.
Hmm. I also thought it was kind of weird that like because I was confused when I was reading it. I'm like, oh okay, Bruce has a date with Linda, to see the magician, and then I'm like, no wait, he doesn't. Like he's just like, yeah, I guess maybe we'll have Dick tell her to come over. I don't know. I don't know. It was kind of like a weird choice.
Yeah, it was.
Um, I don't know, just kind of an all right Joker story. Not one of the best.
It was just an all right Joker story, but
Hmm.
there's some good art in this one
There
for
is,
sure.
yeah, yeah. You put in like most of the panels here.
Yeah, I think I did. Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, I just put in like 3 at the end.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, let's just start on these panels here. If
Mhm.
we have any more thoughts that the panels generate, then we'll talk about it here at the
Yeah.
end. But this first panel, I love it. It's the Joker on stage, and the guy being like, "All right, here's your prize for a great Joker impression. I almost believe you were the Joker. Well, now you can remove your makeup." And then he's like, "Well, I can't because I already did. This is my real face. I am the Joker." It's great,
Yeah,
and everyone's clapping for him.
he cheats. He should not be eligible to be in this unless he's doing a bad parody himself.
Yeah, that next panel where he's like pointing at himself with his thumb and he's like, "I am the Joker." So good. And then the guy's
Yep.
like visibly shaken.
It's gotta be weird to be like, oh yeah, this guy that like terrorizes our city. We're gonna do a impersonation contest.
Right?
He could show up, but whatever.
Seriously, that'd be like doing a talent show and dressing like the Unabomber or something. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I know the Joker is like a little bit more of like a cartoon character, like he has a more recognizable outfit,
Hmm.
but come on,
Yeah, I can't think of like
he's
a
a
good.
murderer.
I can't think of a good one like that we can compare today, just because like I don't know, nobody's like actively doing whatever. Rant over.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
This third panel, I love it. It's so good.
yeah,
It's them struggling on the rooftop of the bus as it's moving, and it looks like it's raining. I don't think it was actually raining. I think it's just
just the cross hatching.
yeah, it's just like the cross hashing to like show the motion.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's been one more panel like this in the past that I really liked, very similar.
Yeah, like early on, I think when
Yeah.
they were like fighting, is it maybe like the third encounter, or like they're fighting by like a mountain and then he falls off or something, or it might have even also been on a train. This is like their third time like struggling on top of a train.
Pretty much.
But yeah, I
This
love
time it's the bus, but
I-
same thing.
I love that like no matter how good Batman is at fighting and this clown, it always ends up being like this weird like struggle where they got their like hands on their faces.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, Batman's like trying to choke him out, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But then Joker's just got his hand just like right across his face so he can't see anything. And then he like hooks his leg and like so he's trying to like trip him up and make him fall.
Yeah.
So he's definitely making things difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like duking it out with fists or something, he's just like trying to trip him up.
Yep. And then Joker gets away from on the subway.
Oh, also I like what they say in that panel real quick. Because the Joker calls Batman a devil. He's like, "You devil, how did you ever find me?" And then Batman says, "Accidents will happen." Like,
Yeah,
I accidentally found you.
it's fantastic.
Mhm. This one's really funny too. This next panel.
Don't forget to pay my fare, Batman. Ha
I'll pay your fare soon to Alcatraz. I think it's hilarious too that the Joker would like slam the door in Batman's face.
I think I think it's an automatic. It's a subway.
Well, regardless, like he got in there and then the door slammed shut, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Nothing you can do now."
Yep.
This panel is.
Yeah.
I love the way the Joker's drawn here. Whenever they draw him like this,
Mhm.
it's my favorite.
Yeah, when he's just like super like devilish is the perfect word.
Yeah, it's super devilish. His hair is all. It's like the Mark Hamill Joker hair, where it's like slicked back, and kind of like flaring up into the air.
Yeah, where it's more that he has black like jet black hair with
Yeah, with,
like
like,
green highlights.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then his eyebrows are like combed up, so they're like really spiky looking.
Yeah, he's got this like bushy, spiky like this is cool. It's cool.
And one of my favorite characteristics of the Joker in these old comics is the blue under his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that his eyes are flat on top,
Yeah.
it just gives him such a distinct look.
Mm-hmm.
I think I said this before when we were talking about the Batman movies, but that Barry Keoghan Joker,
Mhm.
he's got that same eye shape with the
Mm.
flat top and the round bottom.
Yeah.
And it really makes, even though he looks totally different, it kind of gives him more of like a classic vibe.
And then you did the one of him falling through the awning.
You know why I picked that one?
No, I don't actually.
Batman Returns, man.
Oh, wait.
That's what happens to
Oh,
Selena
to
Kyle
Selena,
when she turns
yeah.
into Catwoman.
I wasn't thinking about that.
She flies through like 3 awnings and hits the
She
ground.
does.
Yeah.
Joker takes it a lot better.
Well, he hits the last one, doesn't go through it, and then
Yeah.
just falls.
He just like slips right off.
Yeah, it's pretty funny though.
And then, but Batman does punch him right through a glass
Yeah,
window.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, you gotta love just the gigantic windows in Gotham.
I like that Joker's branching out a little bit with the costumes too. He's not just wearing his suit anymore. Like he's
Yeah.
got like white coveralls and then like a red plaid shirt underneath.
Yeah, last week I think we did. He was dressed up as like a, what was it? Not a hipster, but a beatnik.
Yeah,
That was fun with like the exterminator beatnik. That was great.
that's good stuff.
Yeah, I picked this one. I really like the art on it. It's one of the cops shooting Joker when he runs away on the motorcycle, and he shoots one of the tires. I don't know, just like the way it's composed.
Yeah,
He's like standing on top of the bike. I mean, on top of the car, and it's just like a nice angle, just bang.
it looks like Joker's like standing on top of the motorcycle too, but I think he's
Yeah.
flying off of it
Yeah.
as it rockets out from underneath him.
Yeah, just Joker's like so small in it in the silhouette.
Yeah,
And then the last two, one of them, I don't even remember what like the dialogue was because I cut off the dialogue because it wasn't important. But it's just Batman behind the wheel,
mm-hmm.
and I really like. I love panels of Batman just doing like normal looking like just things. And this is one of him just driving, but it just kind of looks very casual. Just kind of like he's preoccupied thinking about just like what to make for dinner.
You should make a coffee table book. It's just images of Batman doing things like that, like
Mhm.
like pouring coffee into a mug from a coffee carafe, and then like looking off into the distance.
Yeah, domestic Batman.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That'd be
great.
hilarious. I'd buy that.
And then the last one, I just really like this art of Bruce Wayne. It's the last panel where Bruce is just kind of gloating over his win, just looking at his knuckles, just proud of the job he did. It's a
Yep.
fantastic little drawing of Bruce.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
Yep.
There's not a lot of like really recognizable Bruce Wayne drawings either. This is probably the first one that's really sticks out, and it's got that classic square jaw.
It does. He's a very handsome man. So we're gonna take a quick break and then get into story number 2. Everything must go. Now, this story I think had a lot going on with it. Like this is kind of like the golden age Batman stories I really have come to really like.
Yeah, this goes in that same category as all those other slice of life type ones.
Yeah, we need to come up with like some kind of like
There's-
category for those.
There should be a collection of those stories.
Yeah, it's like the no rogues stories where they're not just generic gangsters, but they actually have like they could have been a rogue if they didn't die at the end.
Yeah.
And they were just regular dudes. So this is Payment in Full, art by Bob Kane, Jerry Robinson, George Russos, with a story by Bill Finger. And it doesn't follow like the usual formula. Like I said, it's not a Joker story, so
Yeah.
it just kind of goes off the beaten path. And we get to see Gotham's next district attorney after Harvey Dent.
Harvey Kent.
Harvey Kent, yeah.
This guy's not gonna last very long though. Watch.
Well, no, you will see why at the end of the story. So would you like? Oh yeah, let me describe the splash page,
Yeah.
which is actually kind of a funny one in retrospect. So it is the desk of our new district attorney. What was his name? Lee Benson. No,
Mhm.
excuse me. Yeah, Lee Benson. I didn't want to mix him up with the antagonist. Lee Benson is his desk, and he's just kind of like he looks very confused because he's sitting at the desk, and there's the books in front of him, and all the tiny little like gangsters are shooting at him, and Batman and Robin are also tiny, and Batman's like swinging in, kicking one guy. Robin's kind of like just jumping in. Those bullets must not be very effective. I think he could have taken
No.
them out without Batman.
They look like a bunch of little action figures playing around on his desk.
They do, some dolls. You want to read the thing?
I do.
All right.
All men are created equal, but many are the trials they follow through life and very different their endings. Here is the strange story of two who started together but finished a world apart. The one honored and successful, the other forever doomed by his misdeeds. It is a story of friendship and treachery, of violence and heroism, and of a human problem so naughty, with a K by the way, that it took the nimble brains and flashing fists of the mighty Batman and Robin, the boy wonder, to solve it. In the casebook of the Batman, it is called Payment in Full. Well, were we supposed to believe that he actually has like case files and he comes up with cheesy names for all of them?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's what really separates the Golden Age Batman from modern Batman. That he has case files with cheesy names.
Yeah, yeah. He definitely like spends time just writing it all down. It's kind of like Sherlock Holmes and Watson.
Yeah, I feel like he hasn't actually referenced that yet. It'd be really funny if like somewhere down the line he's like, Robin will be like, "Hey, Batman, it's just like the case of Payment in Full," like
Yeah.
and like says a name of one of the other stories. That would be great.
Yeah, we get occasional throwbacks to past stories, but not like full blown ones like that.
Yeah,
Probably more when Alfred shows up. I know they'll like definitely stack up the Sherlock Holmes vibe.
yeah.
So on to the synopsis. Another day in Gotham. Batman and Robin bust into the hideout of robber Joe Dolan, and they take him down and bring him to police headquarters. Dolan isn't very concerned, though. He is convinced that Lee Benson, district attorney, won't send him to prison, as they were childhood friends, and he saved Benson's life at some point. Batman goes to Benson's office and hands him some documents to convict Dolan, but Benson is conflicted. How can he convict his friend? He states he might even resign and just let somebody else handle the case. Batman reassures Benson that he can carry out justice. So there's a flashback to the childhoods of Benson and Dolan. Benson was a weak and timid child. One day, Benson was in the middle of the street when he almost got hit by a truck. Dolan sees him and pushes him out of the way just in time and even gets hurt in the process. In the end, they form a friendship, but as they grow up, their lives end up on different sides of the law. Benson becomes an attorney and Dolan a bank robber. So back to the present. Dolan fakes a throat problem and he strangles a guard and escapes. Bruce sees the news and he visits Benson. The district attorney now has the resolve to bring Dolan to justice. Benson shows Batman a secret tunnel that Dolan might have used. Dolan hears footsteps down the tunnel and he starts shooting. He hits Benson, gets out of the tunnel, finds a woman driving a car and holds her up, making her drive him by gunpoint. It turns out the bullet only grazed Benson. Batman steals a parked car and they make chase. He says he's only going to borrow it, but
He says that all the time.
yeah.
We never see him give him back.
They get to a bridge and the woman swerves her car, causing Dolan to fall out. He lands in the water and he floats helplessly. Benson heroically jumps into the water and rescues his friend. He swims him to shore, but Dolan doesn't care for the heroic gesture. He lifts up a rock in an attempt to kill his former friend, but Batman arrives just in time and delivers a swift blow, taking him out. Sometime later, the state committee is so impressed with how Benson handled the Dolan case that they have nominated him for governor. The end.
Getting a promotion.
Well, if the election goes well, which I'm sure it will be, he's got Batman's endorsement.
Yeah, but what if Joker decides to run against him or something?
Oh, that's a good story. That's a good story hook.
Yeah.
I
Or
wish
Penguin, could be any of those guys.
Penguin does have a history of trying to
Yeah.
vote for, run for office. Did
Yes, he
they do that
does.
in a comic before Batman Returns?
Probably. I don't see why not. Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure. Didn't he run for something or other, or like try to get some kind of big recognition in one of his early stories already?
I don't remember.
I think he did.
So far, they've just been him like trying to steal stuff and, not recognition, but he got the reward money for
Yeah.
turning in his pals or whatever. But
I just thought of something.
yeah,
What if all these cars Batman borrows are the cars that become his early Batmobiles?
he just so happens to like find out who owns them and just hands them a check.
He's like, this car would make a good Batmobile. Okay, I'm not returning this one. I'm going to send them a check instead.
Yeah, it's not illegal if you give them money.
Right. Check from Batman.
You know what? That would be actually pretty awesome. I'd be okay if Batman stole my Kia Soul.
Right.
Oh yeah, Batman stole my Kia, but he gave me like $50,000 for it. It's not worth that much, but all right.
So, anyways, you really like the story?
Yeah, I really did. Like this has like that good like hook to it. You know,
Hmm.
district attorney's got to like turn in his friend. His friend, you know, they grew up together, but they went like their separate ways.
Right.
And he even like even after like you know committing the crimes and him still trying to like put him away, the friend you know tries to kill him even after saving his life.
Yeah,
That's really good.
it is. I agree. I think it's a really good one too. Very deep.
Hmm.
It shows how like some people are like loyal to a fault, and other people are just super selfish and they
Yeah.
don't think twice about those
Yeah,
acts.
like Dolan could have easily been a you know attorney as well, probably even a better one
Yeah,
than Benson, but he never gave it a try. He just always thought there's only one way.
the easy way out.
Yep. So let's you have any other thoughts?
No, I thought this was a great story too. I really like these types of stories that focus on individual people that
Mhm.
aren't villains and aren't Batman.
Yeah.
And I always like how Batman sort of plays like the intermediate character.
Yeah,
You know, like he's there to see and like witness these people who made bad decisions and help
Mhm.
them fix it or make better decisions.
Yeah, there's like those are some of my favorite episodes in Batman the animated series, like
Same,
the
yeah.
one I mentioned it when we did our episode, you know, talking about like a top 5 episodes, but I forgot what the episode was called, but the one with the mobster and his brother was like the priest.
Yeah,
It's got a very similar thing with the
it
you
is
know
very similar.
with the train tracks and almost getting hit by it and getting
Yeah.
injured.
There's definitely a lot of influence from these golden age stories like this in
Yeah.
that show because we've said that I think multiple times
Mhm.
before. They're really good at like making personal stories about characters you don't know anything about in that show, and I think it all stems from here.
Yeah, I think that's kind of missing from like the modern Batman stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they always really try to focus on just the rogues, which they're fun, but like,
Or the Bat Family, but like
Yeah.
they don't. You don't get stories where you have like a random guy living on the street who's like the focal point of the story,
yeah,
or even for the issue.
you kind of forget like Batman's. You know, sometimes he's fighting rogues, sometimes he's fighting gods, but also there's just as good drama where he's just fighting like a dude.
All my favorite Batman stories are street level Batman fighting random people or just like dealing with crime in an alley.
Hmm.
You know, like not rogues stories. I do love me some good Batman rogue stories.
Yeah.
Like there's a ton of them, but there's just something about Batman helping people,
Mhm.
and not necessarily Batman fighting crime.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's definitely something that we can do more of these days.
Yeah. It brings out the more human element of the character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because he has to appeal to people as a person instead of just fighting superheroes or supervillains as a superhero.
Yeah.
So
So let's get into the panels. I think this was the
I-
only one you did.
I picked the first. This is the
Okay.
only one that I put in
Yeah,
here.
it is.
It's a powerful picture. Like it looks like he could be literally just like dead and drowning in the water. Because
Mhm.
he's just the only thing above water is like the tips of his shoulders and the upper half of his face,
Yeah.
and the water's like pitch black, like because it's nighttime, and all the ripples coming away from him as he sinks.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's
It is
powerful
good.
imagery.
He's in the center of it and all.
And it even says stunned by his impact with the icy waters.
Yeah.
So like he hit the water hard enough to where he like blacked out and
Mhm.
potentially could die right now.
Yeah. He definitely would have drowned if they weren't there.
Yeah.
So the first panel I chose is the one of Batman knocking Dolan's guys together. It's just the classic, just kind of like, hey, and just Batman's just drawn really well there. Love
Yeah, he is.
this classic style Batman.
They've made this joke many times already about like when they clunk two guys' heads together. One of them is like, do I hear a hollow sound?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
they're always joking about brainless bad guys.
Yeah. And then
This one's great too. I don't know why I didn't pick this
yeah,
one.
I was like, damn, you didn't choose any of these. I mean, the rest of them are just all Dolan, and it's just like him, like on his like rampage.
I love this one though because he's like screaming at the top of his lungs.
Yeah, and his eye, they drew his eyes like just like orange red. He looks very deranged.
Yeah.
It really reminds me of Judge Von Doom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at the end of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
It kind of I can see that. It kind of reminds me just the way he looks in general of like the Jackie Boy, the cop from Sin City.
Oh yeah, Jackie Boy. Yeah, but yeah, at this point, it's just like he's so deranged. He's like far gone. Like any kind of redemption he could even possibly do.
There's like the Scarface panel here.
Mm-hmm. Oh
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
the two guns.
the
and
two
just
guns.
unloading all over the place.
Yep.
It does look very much like that black and white Scarface movie.
Yeah, that's you know what's funny? I've only seen that one. I haven't seen the remake.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's better, anyways.
And then yeah, I had to do another. The next panel is just the silhouette version of him shooting the guns.
That one's cool though, because the one of him just shooting the guns looks like Scarface, and then the one of the silhouette, it looks like 007 or something instead.
Yeah,
It has a completely different feel to it.
yeah. If you didn't know the context, you'd kind of think it would be like a secret agent, or at least somebody like dodging bullets and
Yeah,
getting the bad guy.
it's very stylish.
Yep. And then the last panel is another shot of. I think this was like right after he woke up from the water.
Hmm.
He's even like just more deranged, and his hair is like kind of slicked back, and yeah, just
His
just
eyes
the
have that weird color again.
and yeah, his like face is very wrinkly. It's a very detailed shot.
Yeah, it looks more like something you'd see in like Tales from the Crypt rather than Batman. The way
Yeah,
that it's drawn.
yeah. It's
There was some good artwork in this issue.
there is. Yeah, this was a fantastic story.
Yeah.
So, anything else before we like head out?
No, I thought I was gonna like the Joker story more because I just really love Joker stories, but I did like the second story in this one a lot more because I do like the slice of life stories.
Yeah, yeah,
We need to make our own list so we can recommend to people via like Twitter or something where to
Yeah.
find these stories.
definitely. So next time we're gonna finish off Batman number 11 with stories 3 and 4, Bandits in Toyland, and Four Birds of a Feather.
That sounds like a Penguin story.
I'm hoping it's a Penguin story.
I'll take Bandits in Toyland then.
All right, we'll see how that pans out next week on Become a Bat. Thank you for listening.
See you later.